Have you ever wondered why some people seem to naturally command respect and admiration wherever they go? What if I told you that an ancient philosophy could be your secret weapon in becoming one of those people? Stick around, because today we're diving into something genuinely fascinating. I'm going to share with you 7 practical practices inspired by Stoic philosophy that can help you be more valued in your personal and professional life. So, if you're ready to unlock these secrets and see a transformation in how others perceive you, keep watching. Before we dive into our conversation, I'd like to invite more people to join us. Please hit the like button and turn on notifications. Doing so lets YouTube know that you appreciate what we're sharing. Let's start this journey ready to turn your challenges into victories. Number 1, make your presence seem unique. It's like that old saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. But it's more than just an old wives' tale. The Stoics were big on the idea of self-restraint and being selective about how and where you spend your time. They believed that by not always being at everyone's beck and call, you create a sort of mystery and value around yourself. Think about it this way: when something is rare, we tend to value it more. It's the same with your presence. If you're always available, always in the mix of things, it's easy for people to take you for granted. But if you choose your appearances and contributions carefully, people start to notice and appreciate your presence more. So, how do you strike this balance? It's not about playing hard to get or isolating yourself. It's about being intentional. Maybe it means not jumping at every social invitation, or sometimes letting others lead a project at work. It's about giving yourself the space to grow and letting others feel the value of your contributions when you do choose to engage. Remember, it's about quality, not quantity. Your time and presence are precious. Treat them that way. Number 2, avoid being constantly available. Now, this ties closely with our first practice, but takes a slightly different angle. The Stoics, those wise old thinkers, were all about self-sufficiency and independence. They believed in the power of being able to stand on your own 2 feet and not rely too heavily on others. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or becoming a lone wolf. It's more about finding your inner strength and not feeling the need to constantly please everyone. You see, when you're always on call, whether for friends, family, or colleagues, it sends a subtle message. My time isn't valuable. That's not the message you want to give. Your time, your energy, your presence, these are precious. Stoicism teaches us to respect and value these aspects of our lives. So, how do you start practicing this? Begin by setting some boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to have me time scheduled. When at work, maybe you put specific hours for focused work with no interruptions. With friends, it could be choosing which events really matter to you. And with family, it's about balancing your time with them and time for yourself. It's also about managing expectations. Let people know when you're available and when you're not. Communication is critical here. It's not about disappearing. It's about being transparent with your availability. Remember, your time is a gift, and by managing it wisely, you're not only respecting yourself, but also teaching others to respect your time. Number 3, continuing to perceive the world as mysterious. Now, this might sound a bit like something out of a detective novel, but it's actually a core idea in Stoicism. The Stoics were prominent advocates of introspection, taking time to reflect on your thoughts and feelings. They believed in the power of keeping some things close to your chest. Seneca once said, "The most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." What does this mean for us today? It's about not laying all your cards on the table at once. In a world where social media often prompts us to broadcast every detail of our lives, there's value in holding back a little. This doesn't mean being secretive or dishonest, but instead choosing wisely what you share about yourself and your life. So, how can you cultivate this air of mystery in a healthy way? Start by being a little more selective about what you share online and in conversations. It's okay to keep some hobbies, achievements, or thoughts to yourself. This selective sharing creates intrigue and makes people want to know more about you. It also allows you to have a private world, which is essential for your peace and self-growth. Remember, mystery isn't about deception. It's about discretion. It's about having a rich inner world that you don't feel the need to broadcast to everyone. And that in itself is incredibly intriguing. Number 4, let others invest in you. This is a golden nugget from the Stoic treasure chest. Stoicism isn't just about being self-sufficient. It's also about understanding the power of reciprocal relationships. The Stoics believed in a give-and-take approach to interactions. It's not just about what you can do for others, but also about allowing others to contribute to your life. You see, there's this psychological principle. People tend to value what they invest their time and effort in. It's like when you build a piece of furniture from scratch. You're likely to cherish it more than something you bought ready-made. The same goes for relationships and interactions. When you let others invest in you, be it through their time, effort, or resources, they start valuing that relationship more. But how do you do this? It's about opening up opportunities for others to contribute. Maybe it's seeking advice on a project, asking for help in learning a new skill, or even just inviting someone to share their story with you. It's about showing that you value their input and that they have something meaningful to offer. This doesn't just strengthen bonds, but it also enriches your own experiences. Marcus Aurelius once said, "We are born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes." This beautifully captures the essence of reciprocal relationships. By allowing others to invest in us, we create a bond that's both valuable and fulfilling, just like how every part of the body works together for a common purpose. Number 5, put your needs first. Now, this might sound a bit selfish at first, but trust me, it's far from it. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of self-care and personal well-being, not just for our own sake, but for the sake of those around us. Seneca once said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." So why prioritize ourselves? Well, it's simple. When you're in a good place mentally and physically, you're more effective, more present, and more positive in every aspect of your life. This isn't about neglecting others. It's about respecting yourself enough to recognize that your needs matter too. Now, how can you start practically prioritizing your needs? First, recognize what your needs actually are. This could be as simple as needing 8 hours of sleep, time for a morning run, or an hour a day to read or meditate. Whatever it is, acknowledge it. Then start setting boundaries. Learn to say no to things that drain you and yes to things that fulfill you. And remember, it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. This doesn't make you selfish, it makes you self-aware. By taking care of yourself, you're not just improving your own life, you're also better equipped to contribute positively to the lives of those around you. So, take a page out of the Stoic playbook. Care for yourself, respect yourself, and watch how this transforms your interactions with the world. Number 6, keep others out of your life's center. Now, this sounds counterintuitive, especially if you're someone who values relationships highly, but hear me out. The Stoics were prominent advocates of emotional independence. They weren't about being cold or distant, but rather about finding strength and value within yourself first. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What he meant is that your emotional well-being shouldn't solely depend on others. When we hinge our happiness entirely on someone else, whether it's a friend, partner, or even a colleague, we risk losing our sense of self. It's like putting all your emotional eggs in one basket, which can lead to disappointment and heartache. So, what's the Stoic solution? It's about creating a healthy emotional balance. Cherish your relationships, absolutely, but also invest in yourself. Cultivate hobbies, set personal goals, and take time for self-reflection. This doesn't mean you care any less about others. It means you're building a solid emotional foundation. By doing so, you become more resilient, more centered, and yes, more valued. Your relationships become choices, not necessities. And that's a powerful place to be. Remember, it's all about that balance, loving and caring for others while also loving and caring for yourself. That's the Stoic way. Number 7, stop initiating every conversation. Now, this might sound a bit counterintuitive, especially in a world that often tells us to be the first to speak up and always to reach out. But let's hear what the Stoics had to say about this. They were big advocates of thoughtful communication. It's not just about what you say, but also how and when you say it. Seneca once said, "We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" His words remind us to reflect, not just on our actions, but also on our words and how we interact with others. When you're always the one starting conversations, it can sometimes send a subtle message that you're more invested in the interaction than the other person. And while there's nothing wrong with showing interest, a constant stream of initiation can make your attention seem less unique and less valuable. So how do you find that balance? It's about giving others the space to come to you. Let your friends, family, or colleagues initiate conversations sometimes. It's a way of letting them invest in your relationship. When you do speak, make your words count. Listen more than you talk. Show that you value not just the act of conversation, but the quality and depth of it. By doing this, you're not only respecting your own time and presence, but also honoring those you communicate with. Remember, in the art of conversation, silence and listening can be just as powerful as speaking. These practices, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, are not just about being valued by others. They're about loving yourself and finding a balanced, fulfilling way of living. As you incorporate these principles into your life, remember the words of the great Stoic philosopher Seneca: "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." So don't be afraid to step back, reflect, and adjust your approach to life. And with that, we wrap up our journey through Stoic wisdom today. If you found these tips helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more insights. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let us know which of these practices you're excited to try out, or if you have any Stoic wisdom of your own to share. Remember, we're all on this journey together, learning and growing one step at a time. Until next time, stay wise and keep exploring the depths of Stoic philosophy.